Hello again. Okay, two things I want to talk about. For the last year and a bit, almost a year and a half, I've been taking care of the featured app list in Haiku Depot. And the way it works is there's a permanent list. There's apps that we really want to bring under everyone's attention. We had a long discussion on that on the discussion forum. And we came up with that list, and there's a floating list. The floating list is as apps get introduced in new versions, and the new version is, 1.1-1, not 1.0-2. It gets put on the list until the list gets too big. Then I purge it and I start with a new updated version of that list. And you can see here, I've got this in a little Git repository, and you can clone this and have a look at it as it develops if you like. And I'd try to do this on the weekend, every weekend. Yeah, there's been a couple of weeks that there was nothing new. There's a couple of weekends that I was just too busy and I missed it. It's happened. But I think it's time that we discuss it. Have you noticed that the featured list has been changing, adapting? Think it could be done better? Put a note in the comment. Let me know if you think we should just keep going on like this, or if we should do something different. Hey, I'm open to it. Suggestions. Right. So, the other thing is about this channel. What are we planning for 2026? Well, as new apps come in, or significantly changed apps, now I will continue to discuss them. For the 2-3 years that this channel's been running, I think I still haven't even covered all the apps that come with Haiku by default. There's some obscure things that I haven't really talked about yet. And there's a lot in Haiku Depot that's still up for discussion. So yeah, we'll keep doing that. But I think I'm going to move a little more on my own porting efforts. All right, so yeah, we got our first web browser. It's a little weird. It's not a regular use web browser, but yeah, I've compiled a web browser. And it's not the command line text mode web browser either. So that was an interesting experience. So I think I'm going to focus a little more on my own adventures in writing apps and porting apps and putting them up here. You may ask, why don't I have a repository? Well, a lot of my apps are very old code. There's the Java stuff especially. Some of the Java programs haven't been touched for 9 years. Still work, but until a real Java person comes along and updates that code, there's no real point in putting it in a repository. There's other stuff that updates very quickly that might do better in a repository. But the whole point of my site is to show that in principle, this app can be ported, it can work in Haiku, even for someone with my mediocre programming and porting skills. It can actually work. But it probably needs polish. It probably needs a real programmer, not just a hobbyist like me, to have a look at it and make sure that the configuration is saved in the right place and make a nicer icon for it. So this is, I think of all my stuff as proof of concept. So if you think you can do it better, please do. Yeah. You think that, hey, look, Michelle has ported YellyTab. Okay, let's have a look. Where did that come from? Okay, there's the original. The source code is in the package as well. But you can go and get the latest version. And now make it a first-class Haiku citizen. Fork the code. Make it more Haiku specific. And get it into the Haiku Apps depot. And then tell me about it, and I'll take it down on my side. Promise, I will not complain about being Sherlocked, because that's what it's all there for. So I'm going to focus a little bit more about these weird apps that you won't get on the official repositories, and that I've had some fun compiling. Maybe I'll run through the compilation process. I'm not going to do that from a blank slate, because for every 5 code bases that I download, maybe one ends up compiling and running well on Haiku. I work on the basis is, if at first you don't succeed, give it up and try something else. And despite that, I've got, I think over 200 packages ready to download. Okay, so what else can I tell you? Yeah, about, there we go. Yeah, this bit here. In the last couple of weeks, I'm about halfway through this project. I've installed OpenJDK 24. I used to be on 21. And I'm testing my Java programs against 24. And a few packages are not going to work with that. Right, and I've already removed a few. Right, Borg was never a very stable application. Sorry, everybody who's still using it. This is a very specialized medical imager, If you really need it, you know. And Freeplane hasn't been updated since Noah built the Ark, and there's an alternative to it, FreeMind, which does run very well. FreeMind was actually forked from Freeplane. I think one was forked from the other. Anyway, FreeMind works fine. So rather use that one. Okay, so Happy New Year and all that kind of conventional stuff. I will see you in January.